we all had to prepare. Now, there are multiple ways to go about with preparation. See, you can put all your effort into one plan, go through with that, or you can come up with backup plans or just give yourself options and decide on one plan beforehand. But these methods, they all have different applications, different situations that they can be applied to. So let's say, Alex, you're the president of our club, you're about to go out to the real world, you just graduated, you have a job. Your boss just asked you to do your first task for, you're an engineer, right? You're one of the engineers?
I want to.
Or whatever engineers do. But you just started working there. He doesn't want to hear, or he doesn't want you just to go off and do it. He wants to hear about how you plan to prepare to do it.
Are you interviewing me? How would I do that?
I just want to know, which of those three methods would you use?
So which method would I use? That's the question.
So would you tell him your one plan, multiple options?
Oh no, definitely multiple options. You gotta always have alternative options just in case one is too much money, one safety reasons, so definitely always more options, the better.
And that's a smart idea. In the professional world, multiple options is usually the best way to go. Because your boss doesn't want to hear about your one plan that could go wrong and could lose them money. But there are many other ways. Well, specifically, when you're talking to your boss, he wants to know, you have to tell your plan first. There are other situations outside of the professional world, your personal world, where you are the only one who will ever hear your plan. And you'll just go off and do it. In some of these situations, it's better not to have a plan A or a plan B, or plan A and some backups to plan A, but just one single plan. I like to call it plan A plus. Now, plan A plus is good for, I'm going to say, 2 reasons for the sake of time. One is about the negatives of using too many plans. Having too many backup plans takes away from the success at the end. The second is how using only that one plan improves how much success you can bring out of it. Specifically by improving your confidence and forcing you to use caution. Okay, so let's start with the first point I said. Don't use too many backup plans. In some situations, don't use any. Now, of course, if there's some risk involved, you're going to want to use at least one backup plan. But just for the sake of this, we'll say only use your plan A plus. I'm going to start by saying the negatives of not doing this. Using too many of these plans, it's like dispersing your effort into multiple areas when you could put it all into one. Now, given a task, you will have the same amount of time to do it regardless of the way that you plan about going about it. So putting your effort in one place means that plan has more to it than all your alternatives. And if there's not enough risk involved, then that's the way you should go for sure. Because with less to the other plans, you lower your maximum success. The yield you get at the end won't be as great because you didn't work through every possible benefit to use your timer. I'm going to start my first example off at this little pineapple under the sea. The sponge who inhabits this place, he works at a restaurant called the Krusty Krab, where they have the best burgers in all of Bikini Bottom. And their rival across the street, he's jealous. He can't make food for anything to save his life. So he's constantly trying to steal their recipe so that he can earn more money. The problem with him is, if you ever, this is about a heist pretty much. If you play a GTA, heists aren't something that you just go in and try to take it. That's how you end up in jail. Or in Plankton's case, on someone's boot. Height is something you have to plan out ahead of time. And normally, you don't have a lot of time to work for alternatives. Like maybe plan an escape plan if things go wrong, but not multiple ways to get in, because you're going to go for that one way. Now Plankton's problem is he uses way too many plans. It wasn't until SpongeBob movie that he actually managed to get anywhere near stealing it. That was his plan Z, the long lost plan Z. So say, what if Plankton had used all that time into plan A instead? So all that effort for the failed A through Y went into that Z that almost worked. Would he have gotten the recipe? Sure he would have. So let's take those negatives and move on to the positives of using that plan A plus. Like I said, using one plan helps you build up confidence in what you're doing. So let's use college applications as an example. A lot of people start with extravagance. They want to apply to Harvard no matter what their GPA is, even though some of them might wind up in a place like Kennesaw. Just to see if they get in. Oh, blood. So the way you should go about applying, or at least the way I went about applying, is look for the one place that you belong, not where you want to go. Or in some cases, both of those are the same thing, but you have to do a lot of research. Some might say this is putting all your eggs in one basket, but a lot of people tell you not to do that. Sometimes it's more beneficial than that. Like maybe have one egg in some other basket, like Georgia State, but but for my case, I knew I wanted to go to UGA. I spent plenty of time knowing that I would be accepted here, and I didn't really want to go anywhere else because I knew that I would have a good chance of going, like I am right now, in the honors program here. So I have a lot of opportunities that maybe being just a regular guy at some Ivy League wouldn't have. So going back to the topic from the beginning, ways that plan A plus might not be very good, professional world. You go to your bosses, and of course they want to hear not the most successful way to do something with high risk, but the way that success is guaranteed. They want at least some profit from whatever you're doing. There's another way that having one plan wouldn't really work out, and that's when luck is involved. So using another college example, my roommates and I are all trying to change our dorms this next semester, someplace nicer. Now you can't put in effort to get a better dorm, it's just the luck of the draw. So we can't just hope for the best place. We have to move our eggs around in other baskets and just say, I really hope I get this best place, but I have to have backup plans. So to review, Plan A Plus is almost definitely the best way to go if you want to be confident in what you're doing, but not exactly shoot for the stars. And yeah, that's it.
All right, take some time to write down some feedback, around 30 seconds.
Play this is first speaker or second speaker? Second speaker.
I'm not gonna
Did you
ask.
do that? Did you do that? Did you do that?
Yeah, while you're sleeping.
That's what I thought. I was bored.
Fahim, being got everything? Yep. All right, cool. All right, so for our third speech, it's from the speaking manual, Speaking to Inform, speech number 5. And the speech's name is The Abstract Concept. And it's 5-7 minutes, and it's given by Zack Varghese. Zack?
All right. It has been 2 weeks since our last meeting, and I got to work. I actually got my MD in those 2 weeks. I know what you're thinking. Zack, how did you get an MD in 2 weeks? To you, I say, shut up, don't worry about it. And then the second question, Zack, why'd you get an MD? You have a business major in at UGA. And to them, I'll say, shut up, don't worry about it. I do what I want. Okay, the reason why is because I wanted to learn about this new miracle drug that I heard. So I went and I studied it. This miracle drug is called courage. I know, amazing. Now I heard when you take this drug, this courage, this foreign name, who knows, that you perform 10 times better. That if you are performing without courage, you are standing here with your hands in your pockets, staring at the floor, or not even looking at the audience like they aren't there because you can't handle the pressure. But then when you have confidence, you're actually looking at every single person, and you're rocking the stage. You're also rocking the interview. Now I heard there's a side effect to taking courage, and that's other people trusting you. Did you know that 98% of all HR reps think the aspect of courage improves your chances of landing a job? Sounds unbelievable, sounds out of reach, and that's because it is. I just made that stat up. It could be true though, who knows? And it sounds true. Now, there is a negative aspect of courage. You know, when you first start taking courage, you're around here. And then you take courage, and then you're all the way up here. All the way up here. But then people view you as sort of a jerk, because you're coming off as overconfident that you're handling the world, except for that you're not. And their view of you drop down to about here. And you start looking like a dick. So, to wrap this up, courage is a recommended drug by the FDA. I recommend it as an MD student. Of course, always be attentive to how much of a drug you take. Thank you. You can erase that.
Did you do that on purpose?
All right, take around 30 seconds or just some time to break down feedback for the action.
Well, that's the first time that's happened.
Jeez.
I told you you can erase it.
Okay, I'll read it.
I don't want to touch it.
Zack, please tell me that's a Sharpie.
I don't think he wants to. Oh, was it not supposed to be a marker?
It thought about it. Oh, yeah.
your responses?
Yeah, we got it.
Is that all? All right, cool. All right, before we start the fourth speech, we don't have an actual spot on the evaluation form for the fourth speaker. So if you can rip off the top part and write in the back of that for the fourth speaker, that would be amazing. All right, so our fourth speaker is giving a speech out the manual, Confident Communicator, speech number 6. And the speech's name is, Hello, I'm Jessica. It's 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech is given by Jessica. Jessica?